Hello, it is I again with my glorious Eastern European accent. I will now teach you and show you how to create conversations in Ultima Underworld. But be warned that you should have at least some little knowledge about programming. Otherwise, I think it doesn't make any sense. Or maybe you could learn some programming by doing it. We'll see. Anyway, so in this editor and in Ultima, generally speaking, there are conversation slots because they are saved in some pretty crazy old school stuff like assembler language. I didn't convert them so you can not edit original ones, but you can create your own. So when you click edit, it is empty, right? So we need to add a conversation first. Yeah, I actually forgot because I created completely blank new map. There are not any conversations anyway. But you know, if you wish to edit the original conversations, that is impossible, unfortunately. You only in quotation marks can create new ones. Anyway, so let's add conversations at slot 1. So now when you create some monster NPC or whatever, let's add some ridiculous stuff like, I don't know, maybe talking, well, maybe not so ridiculous stuff. A ghost. So this is a ghost. Let's make him fellow? Well, fellow maybe too, but mellow. And okay, he will wander. If you wonder what does all these things do, I actually don't know. But the only thing that matters is wander and stand. And maybe awaiting conversation. But I don't know what is the difference between wander 2 and 4. You know, we can try to figure it out by looking at original maps, but I don't think it is really that much of a difference. Okay, because it's a ghost, maybe it will be a bit higher. And is NPC, right? And yeah, I forgot to change the default names here, but it doesn't matter. It will change as soon as I actually put in some name and save it. So right now this is Corby, but it will not be Corby. So this is the conversation number 1. This is the conversation editor. So you can make it bigger because it defaults it's pretty small. What the hell is this, you will ask? So when I created it, I had in mind that you can, you know, add some nodes, couple of them, and each node is like the thing that's NPC is saying plus responses, right? And you then jump to some next node from that one, like here. You know, you make this type of connections, and then you can go back and stuff. But I'm not sure if that was the best, you know, type of editor. You could, not you could, I could probably just make it like a straight text editor, and it would work too. But you know, it's already done. I won't change it. It's too much work. It was already too much work to make this freaking thing. But let's start from start. So there's this. So we have, yeah, this is NPC name. So this will like be Bob, right? So what I should start from? So maybe not variables. Maybe I will talk about that later. But if you want like something simple for the start, you add a node, you click right mouse button in here, it spawns this little menu. You click add node and you create a node, and in this node you basically write what is happening. But there's one thing, there needs to be a starting node. So when you click right mouse button over a node, it spawns a different menu. There is set as conversation starts. You can click it on any node, and this is the node that it will check first. So I forgot, I probably need to use this as, you know, for myself to explain these functions. Come here, but not too close. Where is the start? Okay. Maybe not. Maybe that was a stupid idea. So, so something simple for the start. Let's say that just you want an NPC to say something for the start. So you write a function say, and then because it is a function, you open a parenthesis. Then this thing I called quotation mark. I actually forgot how this is called. Basically, it is a function that accepts a string. So, and in most languages, strings are opened in this quotation marks. So that's how you put it in here. So say hello. Beautiful. All caps. Also great. So what this will do? This will just when you let's see. Let's just see. Saving is for the editor. So when you save and close it, when you open it up again, it's not here. Yes, it's here, but it's here exactly. For a second, I actually thought I did lie and it won't appear, but it was just up over this thing. You can just click here and it will exactly. But to have this conversation in game, you need to first compile. But that's not the end. You still need to save. You don't. You cannot only cannot. When you compile, that will not do anything unless you save. So let's save and let's see this conversation in game. By the way, I think this ghost will have a Corby, this dude from level 4 portrait, because I didn't change it. You can change portraits. So it should just say hello, hello. So that's working. That's nice. I won't talk about switching portraits right now, but yeah, you can switch it for anything. You can add your own. Nah, maybe that's too silly. But let's come back to the conversation editor. That is say, right? That is what NPC is talking to you. So, hello avatar. I am the host of his stupid dark halls. What are you doing here? So now the second most important thing. So how do you respond? By by calling a responses function. So responses takes strings too, but you can put more, up to 4. Actually, I'm not sure if I put in a safe for putting more than 4, but I don't remember. So, but don't try, or maybe you can, but it can crash the editor right now. I maybe check it later. So responses like hello, I'm Merle. Is that the word? Exploring. Just like the conversation with the first guy, Bragit. I think that's the same response. Almost. What are you? Bye. So right now, anything you do, anything you say, it still ends the conversation because you know there is nothing next. But let's add some more notes and some conditions, as I called them, because when this, you know, how the conversation flow works. So when it reaches the end of the first node, it checks if there are any conditions, so these orange circles, right? And if there is condition that is connected to something, it will jump to it from the top. So it will check this one first and okay, it's leading to this one, right? So it jumps here. But because it's a condition, you put it a condition here. So you say if response is equal to 1, because there is one hard-coded variable that I put in. It is response. So after calling this function, when player put its some response, this variable response will be filled with this response. So the first one is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So if response equals 2, if response equals 3, so say exploring, there is not much to explore here, which is a bit of a lie because there's this always something. Every bit of abyss is worth exploring. What are you? Say. Okay, I probably should not put too much thought on these responses. This takes too much time. So I'm a ghost. And this is say bye. Let's check if it works. It compiled, so it's always good. Let's save. Next thing, I will need to talk about variables, because this is really getting too easy and it's time to confuse all you. Hello avatar, I am the ghost of blah blah blah. I'm merely exploring. Yes, exactly, the response is first one. I'm a ghost. That's fine. Don't even bother to check the third one even. Okay, let's add more complicated things like variables. So there I need to explain what are variables here and what type of variables there are. So there are 4 types of actually there are 3 types of variables. The one is internal and you don't need to even know it exists. So There are saved variables. These are saved between conversations. There are global variables and local variables. So when you define variable, no, you define variables, you define saved variables here. That's the thing, but rest local and global in nodes. So when you want a saved variable that, you know, because you want to store some info like minutes passed, because, you know, when you want a conversation or an action where NPC, I don't know, repairs your weapons or creates some item for you that takes time, you need to store the time when this started, you know, this action, and then compare it to current time, and if it's, you know, time passed is greater than, you know, I don't know, 30 minutes, then you you know, end the action or something or whatever. You can store anything, any type of info, as long as it's an integer, of course. So let's you need to like put it 1, and then saved variables can, actually I should put it like 1 here, but whatever. This is saved var 1. I mean 1. I don't know why I'm mixing Polish with English. It's so stupid. So this is saved var 1. Now global variables can only be defined in the starting node. By the way, you can change this. Oh, I did forget to block the movement while I did this. Another thing to fix then. God damn it. Global. That's very original name for variable. Global var 1 and local var 1. So global variable will be stored between not stored, it will be used in the whole conversation. So you can, when you declare it here, you can, you know, use global not yes, global var 1 equals, I don't know, 2, right? But you can't do local var 1 equals 2. It should give an error. Yes, unrecognized local var, because local vars only are valid within one node. Okay, so let's fix it. Okay, so that are types, variable types. What can you do with them? Well, of course you can do standard stuff like response plus 2, so standard operations, or okay, well, okay, I leave it right now, but I want to add an info about arrays. There are also arrays, but they are actually probably only used for one type of function that gets the inventory. But there are, you know, global arrays, so you can do global array 1 and local array 1, but I forgot, I need to specify the size of it. So that's pretty standard. Oh no, array, of course. No, you don't do it like this. You need to add array. That's what I needed here. But right now I'll actually delete it. I will show you its use in a bit. But let's come back to functions, even to functions, because this is the meat of all the conversation stuff. Variables are also useful, but you know, when you do something with other functions that, you know, return variables, and mostly with inventory. Let's add okay, another type of function, very important one. Basically, you can do all the flow with this function. You don't need to use this conditions linking here, but you can use this function that is called jump, and it just jumps from one node to another. So if you put that thing here, it will come back to the starting node after saying, you know, so it will loop. Okay, I won't even show it to you, it's too trivial, kind of. Also, there is another type of response function. Responses if, let me just add some complicated thing here, something bit more interesting, because okay, there is responses if, right? So this works exactly like responses, but you add conditions inside this. So you can have like response 1, okay, that's normal. Response 2 if local var, right? Now what it will do, if local var is anything but 0, then this response will be printed too. But if it's 0, only this one response will be printed. So let's actually test it. And even let's do something cooler, because I will check it, not check it, change it to global var 1. So and now if in this node I will say global var 1 equals 1 jump start. So what I am planning here, if you go to the conversation start, you know, if you start this conversation, blah blah blah, go to this node, you will have only this response 1. But if you go from the start of the conversation to this node, it will set this to 1, then it will get back to this, and then if you use response with the first thing and go to this node, it should have the 2 responses now available, right? Let's see. Let's actually see. I won't put it down because I need to resize it every time. Let's see if I am actually talking the truth or I am lying here. So, test number 1, Mr. Bob. Hello, I'm merely exploring. This response 1 does nothing because it was, well, there was nothing after that. So, what are you? I'm a ghost. And he should have this global var now set to 1. Oh no, it doesn't work. Oh shit. What did I forget if global var 1? I don't know. I actually forget how this actually is supposed to be working. Also, I just noticed that this is weirdly blurred, and this is not. Why is that Unity? That is also a bit weird. But whatever, that doesn't really change anything. This doesn't work for some reason. Because I think this function actually works, but I forget how to what it needs. Okay, let me pause this video for a second. Okay, I was being a little bit stupid here, and that was a programming mistake actually what I have done here. So that wasn't working because, well, when I've erased this jump. So it set it to 1, but when you jump to the start, it's reset it back to 0. That's why it won't work. So how to prevent it? Well, just let's jump straight to the node 2. Or yeah. So let's test it again. And you know how many freaking windows I have opened now. Jesus Christ. Now, you better don't fail me, Mr. Ultima Underworld game. So the first option now, just response 1. Yes. What are you? I'm a ghost. Oh god damn it, I freaking note 2. Wait a minute. Did I not save it after I compiled it? I freaking didn't. Whoa, don't do this. I saved when in the game. Well, that didn't do anything, because the rate data is already in the memory, but still a bit spooky to do that. Come on, let's work. I want to go further. Yes. That's what I wanted. Okay. Let me have this documentation here. So, okay, that's how responses work. So this is like the main feature, because now you can do some, big conversations, but standard, without any advanced inventory stuff. But it is, let's jump into more fun stuff like inventory. Exactly. Let me just most of these functions, I will even bring it for you right here, are pretty easy, so I will not explain them, but I will explain inventory because it is important, and it might be confusing because it also uses a function that requires arrays. Okay, so let's add the node, inv node. So let's, okay, maybe response 2 will actually go to the inventory node. And here, let's say the ghost will ask if you have a candle. Do you have a candle? Right? So now it is time for the player to put it in the slot. These 4 slots, the barter slots. Here. So if you ask here, if you say here, now there will be a check if there is a candle. Here, sorry, I don't have it. So let's add more stuff. Maybe this should be like check candle node. No, this is actually not check. It's not checking anything. You just ask for candle. This is check if candle. Oh yeah, and now let's do it in the other way. So if responses, sorry, if response is 1, jump, yeah, jump, check if candle, and sorry I don't have it, say hat, that's super sad. So you don't always have to join them like here with the circles. So now there are two functions to check the barter area for inventory for particular stuff. Well, one just gets all the things that you put there, and it returns all the data for you. So let's do it the harder way. So this is function get inventory slots, right? And it needs two arrays. Array with array, well, it will populate these arrays after you call it. So local array inventory IDs. So this will be and for this will be populated by the inventory IDs. So candle have like I don't know 184, dagger has 2 or 3, I don't remember, and every item has its own ID. So you can check if this item is a candle from the ID, right? Local array inventory positions. This, on the other hand, store the pointer to the exact item. So you will see just in a second. And finally, local slots get inventory slots inventory IDs in inventory pos. Let's just make it like that exactly. So it populates these arrays, and also it returns integer that is the count of items that it got. So if you let's say there are four of these slots, right? So if you put in the second one and in the third one, like the second one, which is this, there's the top right? It's something there, and you put something in the bottom left, it will return 2, and the array will be populated the first 2 ones, right? Because you could also think that okay, it populates like the first one is nothing, so it leaves it empty. The second one is not empty, and the third one is not empty, and the fourth one is empty again. Nope. It's populating from the first one with items that it found. So it will, if you put 2 items, no matter at what slot, these 2 items will be at 0, 0, and 1 index of this array. I hope that at least some people get it, because this is basic programming kind of stuff. So we have slots. So now if the slots is the number of items. So if you expected 1 item, you can do this if slots equals 1 and do stuff. Also if you have more than 1, so if slots more than 1, and you still want to check all the items that it got. That's where you do it, and you have a function for it. If you know, just let me see what's the ID for candle, because I need to check it anyway. So candle have 146. Okay, so just for a second. So if slots is 1, so it populated the array, but or my god, my English, only the first index in the array, right? So inventory IDs 0 because it is array. It should be like 146. So if this is 146, that means that is this this is a candle. Say that it's a candle. And maybe jump to some nodes so it would be a bit easier. Maybe start, because why the heck not? And here say now if this condition is met, then he will say it and then get the heck out of this node, so the next thing won't be executed. That is not a freaking candle, mate. And jump, ask for candle. Okay, that's done. Now, if there are more stuff in the inventory, there is a function for checking if there is a specific thing is in the inventory. It is array contains, and it will return the index that this array no, the index that the item you are searching for is in that array. Jesus, I think that what I meant. So local index array contains inventory IDs and 146. Okay, so when it is 0, that a thing that is not found, and 1, yes, so when it is not found, it returns 0. So if index equals 0, that means that there is no candle in the items you put in the barter area. No candle here. Here? I guess here. Jump, ask for candle. And now, if index is greater than 0, well, you probably don't have to check it because it is not 0. But you never be. You always can check because of safety and stuff. And now you can. What do we say? What do we do here? Maybe. Also, you can print variables and stuff in the conversation. So say candle is in barter area position, and if you want to print something out from the variables, you put in $sign. How was it? I think it was I, like integer value, because you can also put s, like in string value, but we don't store any strings at this moment. I colon and index jump start. Okay, did I make a mistake here? Yes, at the start. Yeah, that's nothing strange with these huge names. Get inventory. What it was saying? Oh my god. Of course, I forgot about this. Jesus. Okay, it compiled. Let's see what it is doing inside the game. Okay, I think that I will. This video is getting really long. I might add something more, but probably nothing more than 15 minutes more. Okay, so let's take a candle and a stone, a testing stone. So Bob, now I have to ask who are you to trigger this. Response to, do you have a candle? First, here. Because I did not put any check for that kind of situation. So what happened here? If the slots was 0 basically, because it returns 0, there was no candle and there was no anything actually in the barter area. But that worked. But I did not put that as a condition. Okay, quickly now, Ghost. Let's come back to this conversation. That's a candle. That's a candle. Or a candle. Candle. And it come back to the start as it should. Now, because... Oh no, it resetted the value, so I have to do this again. So now I'll put a stone here. That's not a freaking candle, mate. Now, so let's put two things now. Here. The candle is in barter area position 2 because it was the second thing found. Probably it goes like checking this thing, then this, then this, then this. And that's that. Because I don't have two different items, I can check the third options unless I find something. But I could technically. Oh yeah, there's this pile of debris. So the third last options is to put stone and this thing here. No candle here. Nice. Sorry I don't have it. That's super sad. Super. Okay, that's the first and the harder how do you say it? The way to check for inventory, but more flexible. You can check for many items at once. If you want just general food item for someone, you should call this and just check if ID is greater than the first food item and lower than the last food item. That would work. But if you are a bit more lazy or just want to check for one exact type of item, you can call a tiny function. Well, not tiny, just little smaller. So if response 1, let's say, so this is I won't even bother changing that name. Okay, let me just find this in my beautiful, beautiful documentation. It is find item in barter. Find item in barter. And it just needs candle IDs. So it was this. Nope. And it returns the position in the just general position in the inventory list. Candle. Kind of like a pointer to that candle. But you can, you can think of it like it is a pointer to that candle. But it is an integer. It is just an address of that candle. When when you have object list, these are all the objects in the map. So basically it returns this number here, 1005. So you get this, and if this is 0, if candle, then say no candle, and if there is something, then there is definitely a candle. You can do anything. So let's quickly show you some other stuff like giving inventory to the NPC or receiving inventory. So giving because he's well, yeah, you can let's do something like this. So this will work. Yes, but let's give him some item like, I don't know, a magical ring, because why not? A ring of candlelight. It'll be pretty weird, but so we have a tiny bit of pseudo quest here. Give him the candle and he will give you a ring that lights up everything like a candle, just like perpetual lit candle for you. Oh, it doesn't work. I forgot to. Oh man, this is really sucky. How did I forget to do this? So you can. I know why. I know why. That sucks. So, well, I can do another thing. I'll fix it in a bit, but well, no, I will fix it just now. Just wait a second. Okay, I fixed couple of bugs. Well, bugs, not exactly bugs, but now this should work also. Yeah, exactly. Just target height is the same as tile height. So it should be, well, what is the lowest tile height actually? It's 0, right? Oh, it not update if I do it. Whatever. Only if I move the mouse. Yeah, I know it's not perfect, but it works. So that should be 4, not 3. That's interesting. So that should be 4. Why is 6? Yes, because it's actually it should be no. Yeah, because that's weird. Yeah, now it should work in it. I need to. This slider sucks. I need to fix it. Also, what happens when I put a door in here now? Well, maybe here and move there. No, don't put a lock on this door. Okay. Now, height of this door also 48. Yes. Because I put in like a safe precaution so that, well, that was stupid, but it was almost at the start of making this editor and I did not know that I will make all this more convenient part. So that probably will work. And now the ring of magical stuff. I can take it. Yes, it's yours now. Now what I wanted to do with this thing? I wanted to give give to the player if the player gives a candle to this ghost. So how to do it actually? Well, you can do it in a couple of ways. Waves? Not waves. Ways. Oh man, I deleted the conversation. God damn it, because I forgot. Well, just wait a second. Well, I not deleted it, but I moved it to the recycling bin. Well, this video is cursed a little bit. I need to make a cut every freaking 5 minutes. Okay, that's the conversation back. What was I supposed to do? Well, let's check. Yes, we already checked if there is a candle. So now, two things. Give the candle to the NPC and give the thing that the NPC is holding to the player. So giving is a bit easier. Well, both are easy, kind of. So to give, there are two functions. One is what they do. Give many. You can give many items at once, or just give item. This in this instance, because we are just giving one thing, you just use give item. So it just gives you need to have the item position. It's the candle, so I mean the candle variable. This doesn't work quantity, unfortunately. I tested it. There is a internal function that takes a quantity, but it seems to it just does nothing. So local trade, or maybe give result, give item candle -1, because -1 does ignore quantity, but you have it all in the documentation. So if give result is 1, that trade, or the giving action succeeded. But if it is 1, no, if it is 0, that means that player, no, sorry, I don't know actually when it happens, because the NPC, well, it seems that it should always accept items. I actually don't know when it would not accept any item, but in theory this function returns 1 when it is a success, so you can check it, but screw it. And what about giving item? So we can also do more fun in this conversation, like, or maybe remove it, but when he says buy, when he has a candle in his inventory, he will give it back. So how to find an item in NPC inventory? There is a function, let me just find it. Oh yeah, so find item by ID. So candle ID is 186. And inventory type, if it's 0, that is an NPC inventory. So that is one way to find an item in NPC inventory, and there is a second one that it is get NPC item position. But this is a bit weird, wonky function. But so okay, let me put this down a little bit. So when you see, or maybe we do this, that's the NPC inventory, basically any object inventory. When you have more items, you know, it will be more icons. So this is item inventory, like position 0, right? The next, if there will be like more items in this ghost inventory, actually let me put something, why not? Some dummy object in his inventory, like this sticks, right? So here's one ring magical and this piece of wood. So now this function, right? Get NPC item position. It accepts this inventory index. So when you put 0 here, it will return this ring. But when you put 1 here, it will return this wood. That's how it works. So you need to kind of know what the NPC is holding to use it. That's the only, you know, the only bad thing about this function, that you need to know what is in the NPC inventory, and it is useful actually when you give something to the NPC. It is always at the front. So if we give the candle to this ghost, it will be at the position 0. So it is useful when you give something to NPC, and other time you want to take it back. So if let me just check something. Oh, actually, when I think of it, there is no way of knowing what type of item, or yeah, what type of item we got from this, which is kind of crap. Which is very crap, but that's not, I think that is, that's not actually, what I might change, because that's how it works in Ultima internal functions. So this function is kind of crap, unfortunately. No, not really, but you should probably just use find item then. Just find item is better, because it returns the exact type of item you are searching for. So now, find item, or rather local candle find item. No, 46 actually. And NPC inventory is 0. So if candle also, I'll give you this awesome candle. Responses. Thanks. There's no need. So one tiny more addition to this conversation, so you can accept it and not. If response is 1, accept candle ignore candle. Right, okay. So if accept candle, I kind of fucked up a little bit. Well, doesn't matter because you know it is local, so it will be forgotten when you get into this node. So you should call it again, or you can, you know, store it in some global. So let's call it again. It's super fast anyway. Nope, that's not how you do it. And now, so this is giving the candle to the player. How do you give something to the player? So we have two functions for that. Yes or more? No, only two. Take it item by position or by ID. This is more, I think, reliable, but you need to get the item first, and then this, it just directly, when you know that this dude NPC has some type of item, you know, you can just put straight in the ID and it will give, I think, the first instance in inventory of that item to the player. But you know, this is more direct by position, so by the pointer. So we have this candle, local take result, take item by pos candle. So now it returns what it returns. One, if this is success, and two, if there was no space in the player inventory. I think if there is no space, it just automatically puts this item on the floor. So it just is an opportunity for the NPC to say like, oh, okay, you don't have any space, so I just put it in the ground for you. Okay, that's that. Say thank you and ignore candle. Okay, then bye. But it was all about this ring, right? So now we gave the ring to this ghost. Well, we stored the result, but that is useless. And now we need to give the ring, so this the same thing like here. We could you know, check from this inventory the ring address directly. Oh no, what am I saying? Yeah, good. Exactly. This, because you know this the address, the pointer to this ring. So that's probably best idea. Or you could find it in inventory by the ID, or you could use take item by ID. There's basically three options for you. Well, not three. You still use one of these two functions, but you get the pointer to that ring from, you know, direct number or find it. So local take result, take item by position, and we hardcode this thing. Okay, so say thank you so much. I will now give you his magic ring of candlelight. Right. Does this work? Or do this work? I don't know. It was quite a bit code at once. It seems to compile, so I think it works. Let's check it. So now it won't do anything when you say bye, because he doesn't have this candle. But when you give him the candle, then you need to talk to him again to get the candle back. That's the theory, at least. That's the candle. That's the ghost. So when I say bye, it's just bye. What are you? I'm a ghost. Oh wait, you actually need to do response 1 for the candle. No candle. Okay. I am merely exploring, and this is response 1. Okay. He doesn't say anything, but he takes the candle. Did I amend that? Where is the... Oh, I did not save, I think, after this compilation. Did I? I have no idea. So, yeah, why not everything at once? I think I didn't save. Come on, dude. I am recording this video for far too long now. Get this amazing candle. Hello, Bob. How's it going, Bob? Long time no see. Yes. Thank you so much. Holy shit. And also, holy crap, that actually is pretty bright. This is the candlelight? Well, I guess it is. By the way, how's this thing here? Okay, so it is a bit too high still. And I forgot to change the texture of the door to the secret door. I need to tweak a little bit, this slider for the height in this trap, because it's freaking annoying. It doesn't represent what it should. But I'm not done with you. I say bye. Also, I give you this awesome candle. Thanks. Thank you. And now, when you say bye to him again, he still, he will just say bye. Oh no, he actually don't. What's happening? Well, that's weird. Oh yeah, no, that's not weird. Oh come on, I did not saw this. It should be in the end. This is another programming mistake I made. This will always execute, because why not? So there should be something like if candle equals 0 and, right? Because there is no this will always execute. I did not see that. But whatever. Okay, that will do for this video. It's extremely long and I'm a bit tired of recording this. But most of the hard stuff I think I explained, at least a tiny bit. Maybe, okay, let's just check quickly if there's anything particularly tricky here. Probably not really. Most of these functions here are pretty straightforward, I think. Yeah, yeah, I will leave it as that, and I think you know, when you have anything to ask, just ask. And the most important thing, which is actually, you know, the flow of this conversation, I think I explained. How do you, you know, create these nodes and join them and jump from one node to another? That's the most important thing, because you can now create conversations in Ultima Underworld, just like that. Maybe I didn't explain the saved variables and didn't test them. Yeah, you know, okay, just one last thing, right? This is the last thing, I swear. So let's add like, and so on some point in the conversation, some additional thing, like, okay, here, maybe. So you need to, so if you want to use saved variables, of course you need to type them properly. Saved variable 1 is 1, right? So at the start conversation, if saved var1 equals 1, say, oh, I see you did not like my candle. And then can also add something like set attitude to 1, so he will be upset that you didn't take his candle. Where is this? Set attitude. Set attitude 1. That's it, makes him upset. Just do it like this. Compile and save. Yeah, that's a bit of a mess of a conversation, but you know, this weird flow that you need to ask him one thing and then, you know, give him a candle, take a ring, and then you get the candle and then you test the thing. But it works. It just works. Hey, Mr. Ghost. Hey, Bob. So, the first thing, put this candle here at the start. He gives you the ring. You're surprised. Now, say buy. Also, I give you this awesome candle. There's no need. Okay, and then buy. And then now, oh, I see you did not like my candle. And he still wants you to give, to take this candle. Fair enough. So that works. That variable was saved between the conversation, the first conversation, the second one. Okay, that's it for this video. See ya. I mean, hear ya.